Good evening. Welcome to LettiSpeaks. I want to do an energy reading for June. Can't believe that we are already halfway through the year, right? I guess we can call this the sun coming out. Most beautiful card in the deck. I feel like June is going to be a very beautiful, very prosperous, very eventful month. But I definitely want to tap into the energies for June just to see what's coming out. Again, my name is LettiSpeaks. If you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment. I appreciate you. If it does not resonate, this is a general reading. Everything is not going to resonate for everybody. If it does, take it, run with it. If it does not, leave it. Don't try to make it fit, okay? If you are interested in your own personal, customized reading that will tap into your own energy, hit me up. My links are in the description. I'm more than happy to go ahead and do a reading for you. I can send you a reading. We can go live, however you feel comfortable. My link is in the description, and I have a calendar link that's below as well. Let's jump in. So for the month of June, Spirit, let's take a look at the energies that we're dealing with in the month of June. Any challenges and the outcome of what will come in for us this month. Again, thank you for stopping by. All right, we're going to take those. Very interesting. So I'm going to call the overall energy for this reading the Judgment. I hope you can see all of these cards in my view. The Judgment. And of course, the Judgment is definitely a card that speaks of coming into the energy of not feeling confused about anything, not feeling behind, not having any derogatory feelings or things to say about your current circumstance. It's almost like there is an energy of being empowered, right, in the month of June. Being balanced as well. Also being tapped in. And so for this month, I feel like you will be experiencing a lot of clarity, as I just said. Judgment brings in like a higher level of awareness, first and foremost. And it's almost like bringing you into this new mindset, this new way of thinking, a spiritual rebirth, if we can even say that. So there could be like a refreshing that you're going to feel in the month of June. It's going to be a time where life becomes renewed. There's going to be like this newness that you're feeling. Anything that was weighing you down up to this point is going to actually peel away. And as you can look, it's almost like the opening up to the beauty of everything. Somebody is going to have a new way of looking at things in the month of June, a new perspective, a whole new outlook on life. Judgment is actually the number 20. This is the number of awakening, the number of knowledge, power, even mastery. Opening up to what it is that you can do for everything that exists. It's almost like a universal service. It's also a time of compassion and completion. It's the things coming to an end and opening up to newness or rebirth, right? That's the word that sums up all of that beautifully. I feel like the divine is going to be definitely speaking to you in the month of June. Divine will be calling on you. And so June is going to be a month that you'll need to really be in tune with your higher self, in tune and doing a lot of meditation so that you can connect with your higher source as well. I feel like there's definitely going to be a revelation of some kind in June. Let's take a look. I just want to clarify this card for the judgment. So what is this revelation coming in that's going to usher in this newness for June for my viewer? What is this revelation coming in for my viewer spirit in June? Okay, so it could be love for someone. We have the Lovers here. The Lovers also represents a higher level of connection within self as well. So I feel like old relationships will be coming to an end and you'll be ushering in new relationships. We have the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and Death. The Lovers and the Ace of Cups definitely talks about new connections, new beginnings to possible connections. And the Death talks about transformation. So for those of you that may not have had too much of an interaction with people, right? I feel there's a lot of opportunities to connect coming in June. It could be love. It could just be reestablishing old connections. It could be closing out old connections and starting new connections with new people. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of clarity around these new opportunities for you. And these people that are coming into your life or these new connections, I feel like it's going to play a part in this newness that's coming in for you. And for those of you desiring love, I feel like these are people that have been doing the work. They've been doing the work on self. And not necessarily preparing for love, but you've been doing self-work. Kind of closing out old cycles as it pertains to connections and love, as it pertains to unhealed parts of yourself that was left kind of straggled after relationships. You've been working on that. And now I feel like the universe is showing you why you had to put so much work in on yourself. I feel like the level of connection coming in for you is going to actually be a very high level connection. And had you not put in the work on yourself, Death talks about transformation, talks about going inside and allowing yourself to be challenged, refined, possibly even tore down and rebuilt back up. Had you not done that inner work, you may not have been ready for what's coming towards you, for what you possibly have even asked for. I do feel a level of desire around connection, for joy, for union. And the Ace of Cups talks about that new beginning coming in June. And so a lot of clarity will be coming in June around what has been happening as it pertains to your personal life. So I feel like for whoever this is for, there was absolutely, as we were talking about doing that work, there was a time where you actually, with the Ten of Swords here, possibly felt like you were at rock bottom when it comes to life in general, when it comes to the things that you were wanting for yourself or willing to pour into. You possibly could have been feeling very stagnant, even rejected, you know. This card talks about being in a position of being down and out, possibly. And when you're down and out, possibly even having people kicking you when you're down, right? It's that kind of energy. It's almost like, wow, you know, how much worse can it get? You know, and so the Ten of Swords talks about being in this energy. And I feel like this is not right now. This is like what you've come through to get to this point where you are right now. But it's very painful energy, but the pain was purposeful. That's one thing that we may be surprised to understand. I don't think that anything is without purpose, right? Sometimes we have to go through very strenuous situations only because of the fact that if we don't, it's almost like boot camp for the army, right? It's very strenuous, very programmed, very in order, right? It's very in line for what's coming. It's almost like to bring in a level of discipline, self-discipline, right? And the pain that you've experienced that has brought you to this point has been a lot like that. That's the energy I'm feeling. Because the Ten of Swords is actually the card of the awakening. It's a 10. It talks about endings, but it also opens up for beginnings. It's coming to the end of self. It's almost like an ego death, if you will. It brings us to the end of ourselves. And so that could play out differently for those watching, for everyone that's resonating with this so far. But whatever that was, it was a bringing to the end of self. Can definitely be sad and painful as well. But whatever it was, it brought a major change to your life. Things came to an end. It could be something very specific. Things, you know, could have possibly left you very drained, even emotionally and mentally exhausted by a situation that at one time or another that you thought you wanted. but the experience itself possibly was one where you found it was very depleting, right? It didn't do anything but deplete your power and your energy. And so this talks about working very hard at something that possibly could have, didn't quite pan out the way that you thought that it should have. And it kind of left you feeling very despondent. And so, but again, this was purposeful. And I feel like this was very crucial. It was very pivotal in positioning you in where you are right now. This path that has brought you here has been, one that nobody would probably volunteer for. I guarantee you that. And it's one where there was not an easy way out. It forces us, the Ten of Swords, to change our thinking, even to change our habits as well. And so let's see what this possibly could have been. So what was the Ten of Swords specifically? Let's see if we can get more information. When I see that Ten of Swords, I'm like, uh-oh. But it's a good thing because this is no longer where you are. This is what brought you here, where you are. And so, what is this Ten of Swords, Spirit? What is this Ten of Swords for my viewer? And for some, I feel like this very well with the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Five of Wands. This very well could have been something from childhood, something to do with your upbringing, that actually was in a way challenging, but at the same time, those challenges kind of shaped you. It almost was kind of like what I was talking about, the boot camp type of thing. It kind of shaped you into this very interesting creature. Like you are very disciplined in many ways that the average person is not, but it has a lot to do with how you were raised and some of the challenges that you endured during that time. I do see like imbalance in the childhood. Not that it was all bad, because I see some joy there as well, but there were some specific things that were challenging that kind of shaped, you for this moment. It could have very well been the way that you connect with people, right? Or the lack of the ability to do that. How you relate to people. Or how, the reflections that were cast that you see when you look at yourself. Whatever that is, I feel like it's definitely has something to do with how you looked outwardly at the world, how you interacted with the world, that brought about this major moment, this pivotal moment in your life, that forced this change and forced this deep introspection, taking a look at those things. The The High Priestess talks about the energy that you are currently sitting in. And the High Priestess is actually, and I'm hearing 2s and 10s. 2s and 10s could be significant numbers for you right now. Maybe you're seeing them everywhere. Maybe it's a favorite number. One of those are your favorite numbers. Maybe it's your date of birth, the day you were born. Something about 2s and 10s. But as for the High Priestess, it's almost like there's a level of connection that you have with your higher source, with the divine, that is definitely an interesting connection. It's a special connection because the High Priestess is somebody that has a one-on-one connection, right? It's not by hearsay. It's not that you would have to go to someone and say, can you pray for me? Or you would have to go someone and say, can you go and check this out and see what's going on, you know, in the deeper parts of my life. It's someone that has a immediate one-on-one connection with the higher source, with the divine. Not only with the divine, but with the spiritual aspect of life. When you see things, you don't see just the physical shape, but you see in a deeper way. I'm seeing somebody that looks outwardly and they see the makeup of things, like how things were put together or assembled, or they look at a person and they see the reason why that person is the way that they are. I'm looking at someone who sees beyond what the physical eyes see. There's a deeper peering that's happening when you look outside of yourself. Almost like if you had X-ray vision, right? And you could see not right through people, but you can see like into someone's thoughts or into someone's heart or into someone's body. You can see that they're in pain, right? So there's a deeper level of knowing and seeing that you are experiencing right now. You could definitely be someone who is attached or connected with the moon on some type of way, right? We have the crescent moons, the waning moons, the full moon, and not a lot gets by you. You could be someone that's not necessarily analytical, but there's like this innate sense that you have. You just know things. You don't know why you know them or how you know them, but you just know. Even before they happen, we could be talking about time capacity, like you're able to feel things coming through before they actually happen. Because the High Priestess has a very deep, mystical knowledge about her because of her connection to the divine. And you'll notice through this, I'll say him, her. I'm just referring to what I'm seeing on the cards. This could definitely be for any gender, right? We're just talking about characteristics. We're describing attributes for these archetypes that we're looking at, okay? You could also be someone who is very attracted to symbols as well. As I was saying, there's a level of mysticism that you carry. And so when you look at things, you look in terms of symbols, which you understand very well also. Yeah, very beautiful energy. very balanced energy. As I look at this card, I'm being drawn to the moons, the waxing moon above the dark pillar here. This is the aspect of a continuous cycle. And then on the right, we see the other moon on the white pillar. That is the symbol of planting seeds, intentions, and ideas. And then the full moon right above her is the symbol of harvest. It's the planting seeds and the continuous cycle. You know, it's the product of both of these pillars coming together, right? And it's talking about illumination, right? The moon illuminates the darkness. There's illumination and harvest, fullness of life. It's almost like an opening, right? And it's right above her head. I feel like that definitely is talking about the connection with the divine. And then one of the moons also represents death. So one talks about birth, planting seeds, and harvest. The other one talks about death, or moving into that rebirth season through lessons and awakening, and also healing from all of these processes that happen through the moon cycles. The pillars themselves represent the aspects of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Again, this energy has a lot of balance within it, right? Very balanced and stable energy that you're in right now. This spider web that you see behind her is representative of the veil between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, the conscious and the unconscious. It also represents creativity and all of the possibilities in life. But it's also to let you know that there's the possibility of also being trapped, right? The web is very purposeful. You can also be trapped in the veil if we pass through it without proper knowledge or preparation, right? And so it's saying that this is not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. She also holds a star in her hand, and I feel like that star represents the ability to access hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom. There's also a star in her crown, right? And the crown for me represents the sixth chakra. That's the chakra that actually brings all of the energy centers in the body, and it brings them all together and brings them in unison. And so that for me represents the sixth chakra. And so let me just get a little bit more information. There's lots of beautiful imagery and symbolism in these pictures. The color is like a midnight blue, which also is representative of the sixth chakra, the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is actually the energy center that brings us to the I am. It's the recognition when we get to the sixth chakra, and that balances out after balancing out everything from the root up, right? This is the realization of the I am. This is our connection with the divine, with our higher source. This is us seeing ourselves connected with everything, especially the divine. Seeing ourselves as one and connected. And so, let's see. Why is the High Priestess here? What information does she come to share or explain? High Priestess. Ooh. And so we have the Nine of Swords and the Three of Swords. Very heavy energies. Very heavy. Painful, anguish. But I feel like if this is the level of healing that comes in to match what is needed, what has been needed. And so I feel like there's a deep level of healing, not only that has taken place, but it also is energy that you are now moving in, right? For those that have been in very dark places, they've been in very heavy spaces, I feel like those end up being the healers. Those are the ones that end up being the ones that come out and are able to go and heal the rest. You know, I do sense a heavy level of healing that was done here, that brought you to this energy. And that healing came by way of this very deep connection that was needed to heal this very deep level of pain. So for whoever you are, you definitely sit in that energy. That's the energy that's around you and supporting you. That's the energy that has come in to balance out this. Whatever this pain represents, whatever this anguish and this darkness represents, there was a level of light that's come in to balance this out. And that shows up through the High Priestess. Now, the Sun, again, one of the most happiest cards in the deck, is kind of what's coming towards you, what I'm seeing. This card, this energy is coming towards you. And again, the Sun is joy. It's vitality. It's the refreshing that we were talking about here. It's renewal, right? And the Sun actually could also symbolize divine marriage as well, of the self with God creator, however you see your source. This is like the divine marriage that is happening, that will happen. When the sun starts shining, everything is illuminated. Nothing is hidden anymore. There is no more darkness, no more need to hide, no more disgruntling, no more shame, right? Everything is out in the open. It's been illuminated. It's been healed. It's been released and set free. And now we can replace that with life force energy. Or we can acknowledge the life force energy is always there, but now we can redirect our energies towards our own life force. And just like in the physical, the sun is very imperative for health. I don't know about you, but this has been one of the hardest years of my life. Reason being, during the winter, for some reason this year, it seemed like the days drug out real slow. And it was colder than ever. And my body suffered for the lack of sun. I don't know if anybody else relates to that. In the moment the sun began to show again, it's almost like night and day. Like I had an immediate change with my my energy frequency just changed when the sun began coming out. So the sun is so important in the physical. It's this energetic thing that warms us and nourishes our bodies, and it heals us. Like we can feel it down to our souls. In that same way, it's energetic, and it has this creative feel, this active, and when the sun is out, everybody's out. People come outside, they're active. The sun is very transformative. This is that very renewed feeling that we get for life, right? And it's sure, that's the beautiful thing about it. It has been very consistent and constant, right? Rising every morning, bringing new light, new opportunities, right? It definitely looks like success to me. I don't know about you. That looks like success. If success had a name, or if success had a picture, this would be it. Achievement is another word I'm thinking of. Happiness, harmony, definitely fire energy. Healing, wisdom. Now, whenever I see the sun, in my mind, what I see is a baby running butt naked through a field full of sunflowers. I always see that. And the reason why I see that is because a child, a baby, doesn't even realize that they're naked, right? They just living the moment. They're not judging the nature, the flowers. They're not, worried about time, how long we got. No, they're just living in that moment and making it the best moment of their lives. Living my life like it's golden, right? That's why I love this card. That's what I think of. I think of a baby just running butt naked. They don't even know that they're naked, right? They're just living in the moment, right? And so this is what the sun represents, coming towards you, whoever you are. You have good things, beautiful things coming towards you. And I've been doing readings for the last kind of week or two. And in each of those readings, I've been hearing Spirit say, I will not allow you to feel pain without birthing something new for you, in you, through you. So this is almost like bringing in energy of justice. Like this is that balancing of the scales. To the extent that you had to go through the pain and the, wallowing in the mud, right? There's that level of joy on the other side of that scale to balance it out. And it's beautiful. Everything about it is beautiful. Not only that, the sun also symbolizes knowledge, right? Because we don't want to just be happy and be ignorant. No, we want to know that we're happy. We want to know that we're fortunate. We want to know what we have so that we don't easily give it away. So the sun represents also knowledge, filled with light, love, and wisdom. right? Yes. This is the integration of the opposite, of dark, right? This is the light. This is blending and balancing the conscious with the subconscious. It's taking what we're being given and actually being responsible with it. Yeah. And this is also the balancing of the yin yang, the feminine masculine energies as well. This is that inner peace that we've been seeking, right? It's coming towards you. It's the fulfillment of it, the promise finally realized. And so, let's see, now what is this? What is this realization through the sun? This card is everything. For me right now, there's nothing more beautiful in nature than a sunflower. It just speaks life to me. What is the sun, Spirit? Why is the sun here? Okay. So what we have here for the sun is the Two of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like for whoever this is resonating with, you may not even see the full potential coming towards you. When you get to this point, you may not even realize it, right? You may still be wondering if you have actually reached a level where you have been successful in the way that you desire to, right? You may think and look around and question whether or not you have reached your level of happiness, right? You may feel like when you get to this point, like you should actually, it should look different, or you should be seeing other things or more things. But it's understanding that the mind has control over perception. It's how we look at things. Sometimes we are seeing miracles every single day and we don't even realize it because it's how we're looking at things. Sometimes things can be so bad, like futile, but because we've been desensitized to it, we don't even realize it. It's all about the perception of the mind. And so the Seven of Pentacles talks about getting to a place where you have reached attainment, but because you're still looking for something different, or you may not even realize that you have arrived. So Spirit may be wanting you to understand that the mind has control over perception. Sometimes we have received the rewards. Spirit is just waiting for you to recognize that you have everything that you need, everything that you've asked for. And it's not always monetary. I know these are pentacles. It's not always in the form of money. Sometimes it's in the form of health, right? You ask to be able to live and see your grandkids, prosper. Here you are, 90 years old, and you're seeing 5 generations, right? It's not always monetary. Pentacles also talk about physical reality, physical health as well. You're in your right mind. You woke up, right? People around you were kind of losing it a little bit, but here you are in your right mind, still moving forward, still sharp. So it's not always monetary. And so Spirit may want you to understand that when you reach this level, be careful with how you're looking at things. Also, be grateful. 2, not only that, understanding that sometimes we ask for things, right? And then it takes a little while because sometimes we're not ready for them, right? We have to be brought to a place where we're able to receive and also maintain, right? Sometimes we're not ready for it. And we forget that we even asked for it. 10 years could pass before that thing that you asked for comes in. And because you forgot about it, like you totally can't even see that is the answer to your blessing. You got tired of waiting and you moved on to something else. And then when that blessing came through, you didn't even remember that that's what you asked for. So Spirit is saying, just be careful about that, how you see things, how you're perceiving things. And also, understand that it's not always monetary. Would you rather have $1 million or be in the bed, tied up, not able to get up and, move around? Or would you rather have $1 million, or would you rather lose someone that you don't feel like you can live without, And so it's a matter of how we look at things. Our blessings are not always monetary. The fact that we can still breathe, blood is still running warm in our veins, is testament of a blessing. Today, we are lucky if we even make it, halfway through our lifetime. The average person doesn't live past like 50 now, and it's crazy. And so things have become very interesting right now. And Spirit is saying, when this comes in for you, make sure that you understand that you are sitting in the dream. Yeah. So however that resonates for whoever this is, don't let thankfulness and gratefulness and appreciation escape you. I'm a very simple person. It really doesn't take a lot for me. Like I can go and sit under a tree and be so happy for the whole rest of the day and possibly the rest of the week, Not that I don't like nice things, not that I don't like to travel, but there's something to be said about simplicity. Like, I feel like the more things that you get, the more worry comes in, the more stress comes in. Like, yeah, we want nice cars and nice houses, but we have to pay for that stuff. That means somebody got to work or bring in money, or there's something that needs to be done to maintain it, right? I don't mind a simple life. Not that I don't like nice things, now don't get me wrong, but I don't mind a simple life either, because I like peace. I love peace. And so for whoever this is for, Spirit is saying just that. Don't forget about what is important. And don't forget about what you have prayed and asked for when it arrives. Now we're going to go into the challenge The Three of Cups shows up as the challenge, right? Now, I feel like this is possibly talking about relationships, connections, those that would actually be closest. Because what we see here is three ladies kind of toasting, almost like celebrating. It's almost like an inner circle or a tribe. Those that would celebrate you, celebrate your wins, and cry with you when you're down. You know, these are people that are closest to you. But the challenge is around this energy. The Three of Cups stands for, like, you know, happiness. They're cheering, you know, and abundance. It brings in that energy of celebration, good times, fulfillment, you know, being surrounded with people who support you. It symbolizes a very carefree time. This isn't a group of people that you would have to look over your shoulder to see who's there, or double back to see what they said when you walked out the room. This isn't that type of group. These are groups that will defend your name behind your back. As you look in this picture, these are, of course, they're feminine energies. They're toasting with their three cups, or in this picture, we would call them like chalices or something like that. And they're toasting to, you know, beauty, life, happiness, festivities. And then at the bottom, we see that same thing that's at the top of the High Priestess card. We see the moon with the two sides, right? The waxing, waning moon and the full moon. Symbolizing what? Growth, harvest. Also the dark parts of life. Also that part that represents the ever-changing flows of life. Things constantly changing, right? And then we have the sunflowers are always symbolic of joy and abundance. Those hummingbirds, this is like they represent every color of the chakra. So that's balance as well, right? So for me, that would say that this is not a straining connection. This is not a group where there is anyone doing more than the others. Like nobody's using anybody or leaning or, you know, overly dependent, right? It's a very balanced situation. And then the little swirls above at the top, that's like eternity, you know. They're toasting to eternity. Like we will never ever, you know, part. We will always love each other. Like, and so this comes in as a challenge. And I feel like this might be something that you're yet to experience. Why is the Three of Cups here? Let's not jump to conclusions. Let me find out what this is. So if I can go just a little bit deeper, I want to talk about some more symbolism. The 3 talks about creation. The cups talk about fulfillment, emotionally. And so this could be the challenge, possibly creating these types of relationships, these types of connections, creating a level of normalcy in the world for this type of thing, because we don't see this. If you have experienced something like this and you have something like this, then you're very lucky. But this comes in as a challenge. Like, we usually don't see this because, number one, the world thrives on competition now. Like, if I don't have, the best car or the biggest house, then there's that level of envy or strife that exists there. Or if there's not something that you can actually do for me, if there is no connection that you can give me, or no hand up that you can give me, right? It's that kind of mentality now. Everybody is looking for somebody that they can use, instead of looking for somebody that they can connect with and actually help to improve the quality of that person's life without having ulterior motives, right? We are very purpose driven, but in the wrong way. And so, clarifying the 3 of Cups, we have the 7 of Cups and we have the 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups talks about connection. The 7 of Cups talks about choices. I feel like for who I'm talking to, that has been the struggle, is finding worthy connections that don't lead to strife and envy or jealousy or just plain out ugliness, right? Sometimes it's because we lack self-love that we inflict our own projections on others, instead of allowing people and accepting them as they are and allowing them to be who and what they are. You being you doesn't take anything away from me. So by all means, be you. You don't have to believe what I believe. You can believe that, there's 7 aliens that live next door to you. I can still, respect you as a person. You cannot believe that there is no creator or God, right? I can still respect you as a person and respect your right to believe that. Right? As long as your beliefs don't cause harm to me or to anyone else, right? You have the right to believe whatever you want and live and exist the way that you want. As long as it's not hurtful for anybody, you have a right to do that. You don't have to believe how I believe, right? My convictions are mine. You live by your convictions. And so the 7 of Cups is this energy of choice. But it also represents illusion and deception, right? And so this 3 of Cups comes in as a challenge. There could have been lots of challenges around connections. These connections may have represented just very elusive energy. Like, as I was saying, just this very stifled energy, competition and jealousy and strife, very superficial energy. And then the 7 of Cups sometimes, in this case, does not present a welcome card. Sometimes it can, but in this case, with this challenge of the Three of Cups, it's not the most welcoming card. It says that you'll actually receive lots of temptation in areas of connection. You know, whether it's around money, whether it's love connections, it's cheating, you know, lack of accountability and integrity. It's, you know, just having challenges around that, around illusion and deception when it comes to connections. And it could end up being a spell. And so you could have found yourself just withdrawing often. And I get that. Sometimes it's best to just remove yourself altogether until you can see straight, you know, because the Seven of Cups is all about illusion and deception. And so that could have been a lot of what you have experienced instead of the Three of Cups, this beautiful connection that we see in that illustration. And again, I feel like it's not only just with friend groups. The Two of Cups says it could be also with love connections as well. Overall, this is energy around love, connection, around emotion and stability. Okay. For some reason, my allergies are acting up. I'm sorry, you guys. All this sniffling. Now, when it's all said and done, we have the Four of Wands, though, which is a very beautiful card. It almost feels like double for your trouble, right? The Four of Wands for me is like 1111. If you've been seeing that a lot, this might be confirmation for that as well. 1111. And the Four of Wands is kind of, it's celebratory energy. If you look up here, doesn't that look like a gift basket? Turn it upside down. Like, you know, it's like, yes, let's celebrate. It's celebratory energy. Like, we did it, you know, not I, but we. So for whoever this is for, I feel like you will find what you're looking for. The connections, the fulfillment, the clarity, the newness, right? All of that. And some more. You will find it. This Four of Wands is completion and celebration, right? You will find success in whatever endeavors you set out to do. You will be supported. For some of you, you will even be rewarded. And in the back, we have these mountains, right? That shows that you've come a long way. You've been through some stuff to get where you are, right? Which we've discussed that. But you've come to a place now where you're able to create this safe space for you, this very beautiful, comfy place for you and yours. It represents development and growth. The number 4, stability, you know, groundedness. Yeah, this is beautiful. And this is the card that concludes the reading for June, right? So as you come out of June, it may very well be in this energy. This could also talk about moving in new directions, whether that's a physical move or whether it's strategical. But it's talking about moving in a new direction. The Three of Wands is expansion. It's thinking about how you can expand. The next step is the Four of Wands. It's actually moving in it. It's doing it. It's also enjoying the fruit of your labor. Yeah, nothing lacking. That's the perfect card to sum up. The energy of this reading. I just want to get some clarification on what that Four of Wands could be. Like, what is this celebration? And what are we celebrating? How will this come in? The Four of Wands. Okay. Interesting. So we have the Ace of Swords, the Sun, and then we also have the Hermit. Very interesting combination. Huh. So the Ace of Wands almost feels like a level of that almost feels like awakening to me. But the Ace of Wands also is like a level of clarity, like mental clarity, crystal clearing clarity, and truth, right? Standing in truth, nothing to hide, just this is what it is, you know, perpetually. As you see this Xfinity sign wrapped around the truth, the sword, right? And then we have yeah, I almost feel like there's going to be a level where you come when you reach this Four of Wands where everything is going to become clear. You will no longer have questions. Like, you'll have the complete unadulterated truth about everything. Everything will be in balance. You will accept it. And so things will be settled in your mind. No more darkness. No more putting off things until tomorrow, right? Just clarity on every level. Which is beautiful, because we all want to be there. I know I do. And then the Hermit, which we have here with the turtle, with a little candle on its back, on its shell. This is talking about a level of peace, because the Hermit talks about solitude. It's actually a 9. So maybe we're talking about coming to an end of being alone, because the Hermit talks about solitude. It talks about, you know, being in this very meditative state. So for whoever I'm talking to, you could have been in that energy for a while, right? Which has been purposeful. You know, in our society, it's not something that's recognized or highly recommended or celebrated to pull away. but it's definitely necessary. In tarot, the Hermit is highly celebrated and valued because it's a time where you pull away from the status quo to reclaim your power, to reclaim your vision and your direction and your connection, not only with yourself, but with your higher source. Through that period of solitude, you bring in wisdom, not only for yourself, but you end up being a light for those around you as well. And so you could have been someone who's been in this energy for quite a while. And though it's been very beneficial and very lovely, you may have even grown to love being alone, where you've become more self-aware, right? You've become loving of meditating, right? And being with yourself, doing things for yourself. But it's time, right? Because there's a fire that's been lit in you. And that fire was not lit for you to hide it underneath this shell, but it was lit to sit on this hill. It was lit to sit where all can see, because that fire is very purposeful. It's going to actually light up many a darkness. It's going to light up many a darkness. And so, yes, you went through a season, but it was only a season. You're not purposed to stay there. Spirit wants you to know that. And so this is going to be a coming out. It's going to be a coming out. And then lastly, we have the sun. Again, right? The sun twice. So that energy is doubled. This energy is double. Remember what all we talked about the sun, right? About this level of enlightenment and fulfillment. We're going to double that energy now. But as it pertains to this ending point in June, right? Vitality, again, enlightenment. Melting everything that you've been through that was not of the light. It melts all that away. Bringing this amazing energy into your life, right? I feel like Spirit is saying it's not just going to be in the future, but this is going to follow you through the rest of your life. This energy of the sun, vitality, health, assurance, clarity. Yeah. Just appreciation for life overall. So June is going to be a huge month for someone. I just want to pull one, maybe a couple of oracle cards. This is my Chakra oracle deck, which I love. So let's take a look at some more energies that will accompany us in June. Is that it, Spirit? Okay. All right. Spirit gave us 2 more. So let's start off with this first one. We have the energy of transformation, fire of transformation, excuse me, rising from the ashes. We have the Phoenix here. One of my favorite cards. So Thursday is going to be your comeback for whoever this is for. Not Thursday. June is Thursday. If June was a day of the week, it would be Thursday, right? But in June, this is going to be your comeback. For whoever this is for, the rising of the Phoenix, right? No matter how many times you have fallen, this is the promise that you're going to rise again, right? This is definitely solar plexus energy. This talks about your ability to show up in the world and do everything that you feel like has been given for you to do. This is your personal power. You can and you will rise again. So for June, this is going to be a month of your comeback. And you may find your determination rise in June. Even above the challenges. Like, not that the challenges are going to leave, but you're going to rise above them. Right? To the point where they don't even faze you like they used to anymore. It's almost like you're going to own this transformation and rise above all of the issues. And then we also have Ganesh. Ganesh, isn't that beautiful? Is bringing in the abundance of earth. So June is going to be a month where you're not going to be bothered. I feel like you're not even going to be bothered. Like I said, you're going to rise above the BS. You're going to rise above the lower frequencies, just things that don't align with you. You're not going to be bothered in June. You're going to release them. And when you do that, I feel like you're going to draw more of what it is that you are, more of what you want to yourself. Yeah. And that goes for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, right? Even when it comes to those connections, I feel like Spirit is saying in June, you're going to be drawing towards you what you are, which is even more important for you to rise above the conflict. Because sometimes conflict will come in to try to lower your frequency or try to distract you from what you should be focused on, but not in June. Spirit says not in June. This is going to be a month of transformational energy for you, of resilience for you. And so this is root chakra energy. This is your ability to feel grounded, stay grounded. Stay, in that very grounded, balanced energy. That healing energy, that energy of acceptance of yourself. If there is any stuck or stagnant energy, it's just going to fall away. It's going to peel off of you, right? Like old skin. And then we have, again, the sun coming out again, Leo energy. But this is the lion talking about courage. Talking about courage. Isn't that beautiful? Again, solar plexus energy. This is showing up in the world, making things happen, realizing your visions, your desires, your goals, realizing your power in the world. The lion. And so you're being called to be courageous in June. Spirit is calling you out. The sun comes out 3 times, so it's not by chance, it's not a coincidence, it's not by mistake. And I feel like Spirit is saying you have divine support backing you as well. If God is with you, if the Creator is with you, then you are more than the majority. One man chases away 1,000, 2 men chases away 10,000 when God is standing with that 1 man or that 2 men. This is the reminder of your inner strength and your inner courage. Again, I don't feel like I'm talking to somebody who has kind of not really been through anything. This is warrior energy. This is I'll fall down 7 times and get up 8 energy. Every day the world challenges us to remember our own importance, our own strength, and our own adversity. You could be facing a test right now as you're watching this video. Just understand that you have everything that's needed to stand integriously and face this test with courage. And don't blink. And if you, for any moment during this test, need a little bit more courage, see yourself as this lion. Look at the eyes on this lion. Tell me you would be able to stare this lion in the face. And how long, right? If you feel you need to imagine yourself as this lion, imagine yourself as the sun. Right? Think of the traits that the lion carries and you adopt those traits into your character. Yeah, this is a time of believing in yourself and not being shaken. Now, that doesn't mean you go out and you engage in every invitation to a fight, right? Because a lion does not entertain rabbits. The lion doesn't entertain, possums. The lion doesn't even entertain foxes. But this is a time for you to choose wisely what you will fight for and what's not worthy of your energy or your attention or your time. This is a test of will. It's a test of ego as well. Remember, we were talking about the ego that was killed back here in the past, right? Now we know better. Now we know our worth. This is a test of commitment. Like, what are you committed to? What are you willing to stand for? So now the ego no longer serves to harm us, but now it actually serves to protect us from what must be kept in check. And when we find ourselves getting a little bit out of hand and operating out of the ego, we have to check in with ourselves. Just because you can don't mean you should. Just because you're stronger doesn't mean that you get to, dominate and rule over everything and everyone. You are only ruler of yourself. You're ruled with being filled with a sense of purpose. That's what's going to take us where we need to go. It's being directed, right? Power is useless. It's useless if it's not directed. If it's just going everywhere, right? It's useless. But this is a time to be directed and be purposeful. And then lastly, we have the bear, which again, so we have check solar plexus energy, talking about the I am, knowing what we're capable of, standing in our power, in our truth, discerning. And then we also have root chakra energy, needing foundation, needing balance, needing to stay grounded so that we don't get too far out there, too far ahead of ourselves, right? The bear brings in protection, and it's asking us to go inward. Go inward. Understand the need to stay grounded, to know thyself, and to know that you are protected as you venture out into this new place, this new found freedom, this new found reality, this new found truth. Know that you are protected. This bear represents strength. Whenever I think of the bear, I always think of the mother, right? You always see a mother. Wherever you see children, whenever you see adolescent or baby bears, understand that mother is not too far away. So you better leave them baby bears alone. As cute as they may be, right? And as harmless as they may be, there's someone watching out for them that's not too far away. Okay? That baby bear is you. And people have to understand that about you, right? Wherever you are, understand your protection is not too far away. Don't come over here thinking you're going to play with you and not reap the repercussions, right? And so the bear is a symbol of strength. It's a symbol of power and inner wisdom as well. And so understand that you are protected. You're protected. So be still and know. And feel your sense of safety and security. And it's not something that you need to question. So as you move forward in boldness in these spaces, understand that you are covered. Yeah. And never be too busy to stop and pause, because solutions are always coming in through this protection, right? Guidance is always coming in. Sometimes we're being guided in a different route for protection. We want to go that way. That seems interesting to us, but our guidance is telling us to turn right. It's for our protection. So remember to get still and listen for guidance. You are protected, but you still need to be still and listen for guidance and be tapped in and tuned in as well. Those answers emerge when you get still. Excuse me. So don't be afraid to ask. I hear Spirit saying, don't be afraid to ask for answers or ask for direction. Because the answers that you get will always serve your highest good. You may not understand them, especially when you want to go that way, but you're being guided to go that way when you ask. You may not understand it, but there's a level of trust, right, in your protection, in your covering, in your connection. Those answers will always serve your highest good. And if you follow it, you'll be led to a way with least resistance. And the outcome will be a positive one. Okay? So for whoever this is for the month of June, it's going to be a beautiful month. And so I hope you stay tuned in and tapped in to what's going on around you. This is a time to be alive and to be aware, to be woke. And I don't use that word like with the intent of the everyday, I mean, it's a time to be awakened is what I mean. And so with that being said, it has been LettiSpeaks. I always go further, longer than I intend to, but I have to say, what Spirit has given me to say. And so for whoever this is meant for, I hope you find your way to this reading. And if you would like, share, subscribe if you're new, I would appreciate it. Again, it's LettiSpeaks. If it didn't resonate, again, hit me up. We can put something together specifically for you. If it did, wonderful. My job has been done. Until next time, take care of yourself. Love ya.